Hi, welcome to Learning ESL with Libby. I'm your teacher, Libby, and today we are going to be talking about adverbs of frequency. Let's get started. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify adverbs of frequency in sentences, use those adverbs to describe actions, and create your own sentences with adverbs of frequency. Here are some key vocabulary words to know. An adverb is a word that describes a verb, telling us how, when, or where something happens. Frequency is how often something happens. Modify just means to change or describe something in more detail. Action is something that someone or something does. It's a verb. And a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought, like a sentence is right here. Here are some common adverbs of frequency with a percentage of how often we would use these things. So always is 100% of the time. It's always something we're doing. Usually is a little bit less, 80 to 90% of the time. Often is 60 to 70% of the time. Sometimes 40 to 50%. Rarely is 10 to 20% of the time, and never is 0% of the time. So always and never are opposites. Here are some examples of adverbs in context. I always brush my teeth in the morning. This shows that brushing teeth is a regular action for me. I always do it. She usually goes to the park. That means that's something that she regularly does, maybe Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, but not every day. So she's not always going to the park. They rarely eat out. So that means maybe once a year they eat out at a restaurant. So it's only about 10% of the time that they will go to a restaurant. So let's practice identifying these adverbs in these sentences. So we have here, I often read books. What is our adverb in this sentence? It's often. It tells us how frequently we read books, which is often. That's a little bit more than sometimes. That's a little bit more than rarely, right? I often read books. Not always, but often. They never skip breakfast. Okay, so they always have breakfast. 100% of the time they're having breakfast. So, if you ever need help finding the adverb, ask yourself, how often does the action happen? This will help you to identify the adverb in the sentence. So let's look at this quick. Which word is an adverb of frequency? Always is an adverb of frequency. All of these words are adverbs, but loudly, quickly, and beautifully describe verbs. They are not talking about how often we do something. This is the only thing that's talking about time, how often we do something. Like, I always brush my teeth in the morning. So we're going to work on creating our own sentences now. So you're going to use verbs, adverbs, like always, usually, sometimes, and never to describe how often something happens. Be creative. Go ahead and share 3 sentences using any adverbs you choose. Always, usually, sometimes, or never, and write them in the comment section. Try to make your sentences unique and personal. Here are some examples I wrote earlier using these adverbs. I sometimes ride my bike. We usually have pizza on Fridays. It's a normal, regular thing, right? We usually have pizza on Fridays. So go ahead and take the time to write your own sentences in the comment section. Write 3 sentences using 3 different adverbs. For example, I always sleep late on Saturday mornings. I get to sleep in late on Saturday mornings because I don't have work. We sometimes go to the mall to shop. It's not always, and it's not never, just sometimes. He rarely loses his keys. That means that it hardly ever happens. Only 10% of the time, maybe, he will lose his keys. Okay, let's take a quiz to see if we understand adverbs of frequency. So which word in this sentence is the adverb? She usually goes to the park on weekends. Usually, that tells us that it's a regular thing that she does. She goes to the park on weekends, most weekends. Let's choose the correct adverb of frequency to complete the sentence. I eat breakfast at 7 a.m. I always eat breakfast at 7 a.m. They sometimes play soccer after school. So what does the word sometimes tell us? It tells us how often they play soccer. What is the adverb of frequency in this sentence? He never forgets his homework. Never, right? 0% of the time. He never forgets it. All right, let's fill in the blank with an adverb of frequency. We go to the library on Fridays. We always go to the library on Fridays. Good. All right, in this lesson, we reviewed adverbs of frequency and practiced using them in our writing. Here are what I would like you to do next. Review the different adverbs of frequency, such as always, usually, sometimes, rarely, and never. Practice writing sentences using these adverbs in the comment section. Share your sentences there, and I will be sure to correct them for you if they need it. Continue exploring how to use adverbs in different contexts, and go ahead and do the next lesson. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe now to continue learning.